Well, we couldn't leave Goblin Month without talking a bit about the history of these little rapscallions. In modern times, the Goblin has become a symbol of mischievous fun and leaning into one's instincts to hoard small knickknacks. Going to Goblin mode means being unapologetically self-indulgent and rejecting social norms, all in good fun, of course. For us gamers, that means feeding your inner Dice Goblin, collecting just one more campaign journal, or picking up yet another army for Warhammer 40k. Who doesn't need another army? This hasn't always been the case, of course. It's hard to pinpoint their origins within mythology. In the start of their long, sordid history, they were lumped into the grand idea of all fae. Pixies, brownies, fairy, and goblins all belonged to the same general family. Little sprites and spirits that caused various forms of mischief and mayhem. Some were thought to live in your home and could be besieged for aid, while other tales are attached to the most dreaded of woodland spirits, the Red Cap. A goblin so vicious it dips its cap in the blood of its victims, thus gaining its namesake. As mythology matured, these various fae gathered their own histories and distinctions. In more recent history, arguably starting with J.R.R. Tolkien, the goblin was given its own unique place within the pantheon of creatures. Through The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, they became more associated with the likes of orcs and trolls rather than their fae counterparts. From there, they were gathered up by D&D, where the idea of the green, greedy, murderous monster many see them as has solidified. One of the earliest starting points is with the Greek word koboloi, later evolving to kobold and then to gobelin by the French, which appears to be associated with sprites that lived in the mountains. And it's here where it would be irresponsible of us not to mention that is also the beginning of the anti-Semitic traits attached to the goblin. Traits that have persisted throughout the centuries and up to the modern day through unfavorable physical depictions along with a greed of money. This part of their history could be several videos and books in and of itself, more than what we have time for here. If you'd like to learn more about these connections, we suggest reading Ronald James' Knockers, Knackers, and Ghosts, Immigrant Folklore in the Western Minds, or watching David Jones Krause's wonderful TikTok series on the subject. Thankfully, more recent depictions of the Goblin have begun to shed this terrible past and focus on what makes the Goblin a fun little guy. Paizo, the company behind Pathfinder, has done an amazing job of this. They have helped take them away from their always evil Tolkien roots and give them a familiar yet updated look, which further moves away from the harmful stereotypes. Other games like Goblin Errands, which we highlighted earlier this month, helps get you into a mindset of a community-driven, lovable, and socially awkward group doing their best to live within the tall people's world. We hope you've enjoyed this little history of goblins. There is so much more to explore about them. We hope this will spur you to further reading. Take care, and don't be afraid to indulge your very own inner goblin.